The stream is live.
Let's go.
There we go.
Let's get it.
How you
Y'all,
doing, Giovanni?
welcome to another live wellness live
Hello.
herbal tea Thursday.
We, my herbal tea is coming in a juice format.
Okay, I got
What
a
do you got?
chai. That's what they call it, a chai.
You got chai tea.
Rubio's chai,
Okay.
and it smells really, really good. What kind of juice you have?
I have a pineapple and mango juice, and it also smells really, really good.
Oh, let's get
Mhm.
it.
Yeah. Cheers. Bam,
You
bam.
can see my little line from my juice, my tea
Mm,
bag.
nice. Nice, nice. And Giovanni, last week I think you gave me a suggestion. I didn't remember it today. What time? I think I left my house really early. I never went back home. So I thought about if I need to go back home, but I didn't remember why I need to go back home.
Uh huh.
But next week, though, I'll bring it because I think maybe I'll just keep it here because I think I'm going to just try to do our lives
Uh huh.
in the studio going forward, unless I really have to do it at home. But I know you told me half and half. I didn't remember. I didn't remember. Put on my glasses.
Understood. All good. Y'all, I am Giovanni, the healthy habits and lifestyle coach from Forward Vibrations and the host of the Empowered Plates Empowered Lives podcast. Welcome. It's my girl, Shireen. Tell them all
Hi.
about you, baby.
I am the founder of blackprint.com, a marketplace, as well as Voices and Vibes podcast, as well as Wide Perspective Studio
There you
Production.
go. I was excited to hear it in your intro. That's why I
Yeah,
tossed
I'm
that out
not used
there,
to
baby.
saying it. Yeah,
hmm
I am so not used to
After
saying it.
yesterday, it feels good, right?
It does feel good. It does feel good. Giovanni, I actually went live today. I was like, let me go live. Everybody's going live. Let me go live.
What? How did your live experience go today?
Girl, I waited for like a whole 2 minutes. I'm like, nobody joined this live. Let me come off this live. Let me come off this live. I came off the live, girl. I came off the and then I hit
So
disregard.
let's
Discard.
let's first talk about what prompted you to go live. What said, "Hey, I want to go live"? Like what kind of
Um,
pushed you in that direction?
I was just like, I'm here, I'm in the studio, and I want to show people more of what's happening back here. And I have content. It's just a matter of like sitting down and having to edit and all that jazz. And I'm like, honestly, there's no better time than the present. So instead of like waiting for that, I would have showed everybody, anyone who came on the whole studio. I would have showed everybody.
Why didn't you just like still show it? Like even if no one came, like and not just walk it around. So in that way, whenever
Oh,
someone did
someone
see
looks
that
at
you went
it.
live. Yeah, like whenever
Oh,
someone did see, they'd be like, "Oh snap, I missed the live. Look at the
right.
studio," and then like leave a message and comment. Like, how would you have felt if you still did what your intention was when you got on the live and nobody
Mm,
showed up and you
yeah.
showed them the thing and then you came back on Instagram later after posting it and people had all of these like amazing
Oh, I
things
didn't
to
go Instagram. If I had, oh, sorry. Yes, I did. I went Instagram, but I went Voices and Vibes Instagram. I didn't go Black Print Instagram. So maybe if I went Black Print Instagram, because that audience is bigger.
Mhm.
But no, how would I have felt?
Yeah, how would you have felt?
I would have felt good.
Yeah. So how do you feel now that you went live and just shut it down because no one came in 2 minutes?
Oh, I don't feel no ways.
Okay. I think I would rather you feel good than not feel anyways.
Yeah, I didn't feel anyways, but um, this week, the reason I said let's talk about like the power of alignment is like when something is supposed to happen or something's supposed to be for you, it will be for you. Wait, before we even get, how has your week been, Giovanni?
Um, Man, Shireen, thanks for asking. The week and making me reflect too. Sometimes we can get so caught up that we can just stay in that present moment. The week was amazing.
Love that.
Sunday was an amazing day. I thoroughly enjoyed my Sunday and everything that came with it. I had great food on Sunday, great vibes, great company. Um, and then Monday, I had my first mukbang live with Coach Alicia
Mm,
Webb. She's been on the podcast twice.
okay.
But we had our first mukbang. So we had some empowered plates.
Yeah.
And I was able to shout out Recipe Oak Cliff here in Dallas because that's where I went on Sunday to get all of that good food.
Oh,
And
nice.
so, yeah, it was really dope. It was so
What'd you eat?
tasty.
What'd you eat?
Girl, I had like they have veggie burgers made out of like oats and vegetables, no
Oh,
beans,
that's
no
different.
gluten. Oh my God, it's so good, Shireen, so good. So I threw them in the air fryer and I put them on a salad with some pickles and like she had like this spicy like cashew sauce. Oh my goodness. And I put some fried onions on it. It was really good.
Mm,
And then she had
I've
like a
not ate
cashew, yeah, she had like a cashew cheesecake
yet.
and that
Hmm.
was my dessert. But we talked about, I shouted them out, and then Alicia was talking about her webinar, Mind Over Scatter, because you know how as entrepreneurs, you feel like there's all these different things that you have to get done, and you really don't
Hmm.
know how to navigate all of that. And so she, being that she's a mindset coach, she was talking about her Mind Over Scatter webinar. While we were eating our plate and talking about all our, good stuff and just vibing. So that was dope on Monday. Tuesday, Shireen, I started a grape mono fast.
Did you know you were going to start it, or like was it planned, or you just decided?
Monday night, I kind of decided to do it because like certain times people are in like this Lent phase, or I don't want to
Mhm.
say phase. People are in this Lent
Lent.
religious and
Mhm, mhm.
spiritual, you know, um,
Time. Yeah, it's
movement right
Lent.
now.
Mhm.
And so me and my brother Mo, we started this last year, and we just kind of, now it's about to be a year into us being intentional about kind of navigating what we're eating, how we're going about healing naturally, and our holistic like stuff that we're doing. And so I had the juice doctor on the podcast. So that
Okay.
episode just dropped yesterday, and he was talking about the grape cleanse or the grape cure.
Mhm.
And he was saying, like, so many days on grapes. And I saw somebody else like so many days on cucumbers. And I haven't read the book yet, but he said it was a really good book. And I was like, let me see how many days I can go just on grapes. Shireen, I
All
did day
day
one.
long, just grapes?
And I had like some coconut water,
Okay.
Harmless Harvest coconut water, and then uh some canned water, Proud
Okay.
Source canned water. That's all I
Okay.
had all day. Tuesday. Then
Mhm.
Wednesday came, which was yesterday, Shireen. I was struggling. I was like, I want some sunflower seeds. I wanted nuts. I wanted
Something to
salt. I
eat.
wanted something. I was like, oh my God, how do people go 30 days like this? So I was like
Yeah.
struggling. And then today was the last day, and Shireen, I couldn't even finish the full day. Like I did it, I had my kids on it, and then I ended up getting like some vegetables and some rice. I was just
Don't they
like,
recommend that when you go on like a fast like that, like a juice fast, right? Regardless of the type of juice that like did this particular person, because I think I've heard in the past that you also take other supplements so that you're not, I mean, you can do water fast, yeah, but you still take other supplements so that you're not, I mean, it
you
takes a couple
could,
of
like, people
days
drink herbal
to get
tea, so they get the herbs and get
it.
the mineral stuff from that. I didn't make any tea. I did not make any tea. I was just on the whole fruit grapes. And I'm not a good person, like I'm not good at just eating whole fruits. I could juice
Right.
it like you said, but I didn't do grape juice. I
Oh,
was
you
just
were just
eating
eating actual grapes?
actual grapes the whole time. Like I
Oh,
was
I thought
actually
you were
eating.
drinking juice.
No, I was eating the grapes. And I'm not good with whole fruits. Like I can do watermelon, I can do grapes, I can sometimes do pineapple, but everything else I juice. Like I don't sit there and just
That
like eat
is
whole
not
fruits. Like I'm not a fruitarian like that. So my body
right.
was like, vegetables, vegetables.
Oh
And I was just like,
no.
I hear you calling me, but I'm trying to get in this detox. It was
Yeah,
like it
yeah,
was
like stop the temptation. At least it's good temptation. It's not like bad temptation, but
right.
how, okay, first of all, I don't know, like up here, grapes are expensive. So one, was it expensive?
Girl, I put in, I don't even know. I ordered them from Walmart because I was trying to get the seeded grapes because I was told
Yeah.
that that's where the seeded grapes are instead of the seedless grapes. and they didn't have any, so they substituted the red seedless grapes. So I got like 3 packs, and that's just what I went through for these 3
That is
days. And
just
after
not
I was done, I was like, I'm not even about to buy no more grapes. It
yeah.
was the coconut water that was most expensive than the grapes.
Okay. That's a challenge.
Girl, it was. So now I'm like, maybe I can try to do like raw a few days, or like do a mono fast. Like maybe I'll do cucumbers next week and see if I can go through 2 or 3 days just the cucumbers. And then like maybe just stick out the rest of the week raw. And then on the weekends
Yeah.
go into like cooked foods. But
Mm.
I don't know.
The
I just wanted to
cucumbers,
see how
like,
my body was going to feel.
and how does your body feel?
Girl, at first it was like, okay, kind of like up, kind of energetic. And then after
Yeah.
it was like, what is happening? What
Yeah.
else are you gonna put in me? What is going on? Like I was just like, ooh. But I saw that it was
Was
so
your
good
body
for like
screaming for like
hormones.
food? Feed
I felt
me.
like it was, but it could have just been my mind, because my mind is used to
Mm-hmm.
like my mind is used to eating certain things.
Yeah.
And it could have just been that because it what I don't know, because I wanted like sunflower seeds, like then I wanted like salty nuts. I wanted a crunch, and then I'm just like, I'm not an
You
overly
wanted
crunchy
some
the
kind of different
texture.
texture because
I think
grapes
that's
are so
exactly what it
light.
was. And then I felt like my teeth, when I was brushing my teeth, like they start feeling sensitive. Like, I don't want to say like cavities or anything, but I was like, maybe it was because it was so much like natural sugar from the
Sugar.
grapes overload. Yeah, because I don't eat a whole bunch of sweets like that.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what that was. I don't
I
know.
don't
I was just
know.
like, this is interesting. What
Yeah.
about you? How was your week? Thank you for checking in.
Of course, girl. Of course. Girl, eat some other food. I don't know how you didn't get headaches, but before we go into how my week was, I do know that like after you hit like a certain date, like there's a certain number of dates. Ignore the gold all over my hand. After you hit a certain number, a date, like a certain number of days, it gets easier in that fasting period, right?
That's what they say. I didn't hit it though.
Yeah.
I
Well,
didn't hit
you
it.
did. You stop on your third day?
I did.
Yeah. If you kept
Maybe
going,
like one something. I went
yeah.
in and for lunch, and I just had like bell peppers and onions and Mexican rice.
Okay. Oh yeah. You're like, give me
I was
that rice.
like,
Give me
oh
that
yes,
rice and a little bit
yes.
more rice. And how about a side of rice?
That's how I felt. I was like, I can get a little bit more. I was like, just keep eating. But
Makes
it was
sense.
good. But I just it's a journey, and I think
Mhm.
because I, like you said before, when we did like a cleanse before. We did a 3-day cleanse before. When you're
Yep.
kind of already having healthy habits, or you're already
Mhm.
pretty much eating clean, or whole foods for the most part, it's not as if you're going to see these huge drastic changes.
Yeah.
And so I needed to do something drastic to kind of see how my body would respond. And I've never done anything just straight mono.
Right.
And so that's why I went with the grapes based on the conversation we were having on the podcast episode. And I was just like, let me just try it. Let me just
Yeah.
try it. And I tried it. So I was like, okay. It
Yeah.
takes a certain level of willpower,
Yeah.
discipline, and
Yeah.
planning to
Really,
get that
your
off.
mind.
Yes.
Yeah, because that can play with your mind. Like I've done water fasts for a few days, and like it can really play with your mind. But I also have tried consuming certain nutrients, and I feel like having those additional nutrients when you're doing those type of fasts help you stay content a bit
What kind
longer.
of nutrients did you do? Like, what did you
All
add to?
all natural things like well obviously, but I took like a nutrient from my liver, things I've talked. Oh, well, actually, I recorded but didn't post it. Um, for my liver, for my blood, like to cleanse out your liver, your blood, your gut, um, and maybe like two other ones that I cannot think about off the top of my head. But yeah, I did like those things. And then I try to have sea moss because I feel like sea moss would have it early in the morning and it would keep me full longer. Like it suppresses everything. So that hunger feeling is not there, right? But
How much sea moss would you get in?
I would just put in like a scoop. So, I
Like
would,
a tablespoon?
yeah, like a tablespoon of sea
Mhm.
moss,
Okay,
and
just
I would
making
just
sure.
take with my water in the morning. Some people put it in like their smoothies. I would just put it in my water and drink it in the
I
morning.
got
Like
you.
Yeah,
So are
yeah.
all those natural things that you got to clean, like your liver and stuff like that, is all of that on your website?
No, I actually got that from the Detox Now website with Dr. Amun, right?
Okay.
So yeah, that's where I purchased that from. So yeah, it was good. So for my week, it's actually been a great week, but it's always those little things that kind of like can throw you off. So let's see. We also had a holiday. I think I rested on that day. I
Monday.
Yeah, Monday. Monday we
Don't
had
don't don't speed over that, because for us here in the US it was President's Day, and you taught me on Monday that for y'all it was called Family Day,
Family
right?
Day.
Yeah.
I didn't realize
And
that.
we've never had, I don't think we don't have a family day. I
Yeah,
think Thanksgiving would be a great time to call that Family Day instead
yeah,
of Thanksgiving. But
yeah,
I mean, I would choose Thanksgiving as a family day holiday for
yeah.
us. But I think that's dope that in Canada y'all have Family Day. Schools were shut down too, right? Like,
Everything was shut down. Like I didn't realize until the night before, late, because I was in Home Depot, um, getting like a sample paint or getting last minute stuff.
what's up, life after infidelity?
Yeah, and so where are you
Got
seeing?
another
I don't see. Oh,
podcaster.
you know what?
She's
I'm
on
in the
she's
tribe.
on Instagram.
Oh, okay, okay.
She's on
Yeah.
Instagram, but she another podcaster. Another podcaster. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I didn't realize that everything would have been shut down, right? Um, but yeah, it was. I mean, my kids are big, so there's a lot here. I feel like it caters probably to like younger kids or whatnot. But you just spend time with your family. So I think my son and we just rested. It's a day for rest for us. But this week, Tuesday, I became a private investor and invested in a
Ooh.
multifamily property. So that was kind of cool. And I kind of slid in there at the last minute. Um, but that wasn't it. So when we talk about why I said the power of alignment, so I'm here trying to source things and thrift things and things like that for the studio. And the craziest thing happened. Well, it wasn't crazy. It just felt crazy and it kind of like made me feel off. And so I found these like Victorian chairs and they were just beautiful, Giovanni. And there was two of them and they were kind of pricey. And I was humming and hawing. And then I finally said to the girl on Facebook, I want them. Can I come pick them up? And she said, nope, not now. Right. And I said, that's cool. Can I send you, I hit my glasses. Can I send you the money? Like, can I e-transfer you? And I'll come grab them whenever. Okay. And she goes, they don't accept e-transfer. So like in the States, how you have, what are all those instant ways of paying like Zelle and not PayPal, but I mean, PayPal is one, but you guys have Cash App and we don't have those things in Canada, right? So she wouldn't take the money. Um, she said she's available Tuesday. I'm like, I'm
What's
not
up,
available.
Nayeta?
Oh, okay. I can't see, but I guess she's on Instagram.
Yeah.
She wouldn't take the money.
Uh,
She said she's available Tuesday, and I had an appointment. That's when I was going to go see the property. So she said she needs me to pick up the chairs before noon. I said, okay, well, I can't do that on Tuesday. I can do Wednesday, whatever time you want, you tell me. She said anytime before noon. I said, okay, what's the earliest you're willing? I've picked up things from people's house at all hours of the day and night. They just leave it outside for me and I just zoom by and I pick it up. This girl was like, and I'm like, I'm trying to financially secure these chairs so you will not sell them. She would not take this email transfer. She only takes cash. So it's getting, and then she kept saying it's first come, first serve. So I'm like, I'm trying to secure this so you do not, and I'm being very clear. I'm trying to secure this so that you do not sell it to somebody else.
uh-huh.
Or you won't take the money. I almost didn't go see the house because I'm like, well, maybe I need to just go pick these chairs up on Tuesday. I decided to go see the house. Something told me this woman did not want to sell me these chairs. Giovanni, I sent her a note Monday night. I even called my friend and said, "Can you do me a favor? Can you go pick up the chairs for me? I'll pay you to go pick up these chairs and drop them off at my studio."
Uh-huh.
Um, Tuesday morning, Monday night, I sent her a note saying, "I can get them. I can come at 9 or as early as you need. I can come at 9." She did not respond. I felt like she doesn't want to sell these to me. And I feel like when you're in alignment to get something, it should just flow to you. It shouldn't be so hard. And I felt like I was like trying so hard to get her to sell me something. And I'm like, this is crazy. Like, who doesn't want it? Was like $250. So I'm like,
Mm.
don't you want this money? Like, what's the problem? And then I finally said, Shireen, let it go. If it's for you, it's going to come to you. I was at the house. We were looking at the inspection, and the house was like far out of like far from where we live. Um, and sure enough, I got a message at like 11 in the morning. "Oh, hey, sorry, I didn't see this message when I sent it the night before. The chairs are sold." I was like instantly pissed. Instantly pissed. And I was like, you did that on purpose. Um, and I couldn't shake it. So I got
Mm.
back from seeing the house. I went to a store, try to look around, try to just feel like inspired by going to like a home decor store. And I was really trying to shake this feeling. My friend who was gonna go pick them up called me and she's like, just let it go. And I'm like, yeah, but you didn't see how nice these chairs were. There's this mirror that I found, and the mirror was looked to be big. And I'm in the store and I always have my measuring tape and I'm like measuring other mirrors in the store. And I messaged the girl on Facebook and I'm like, is that mirror in inches or centimeters? And I'm thinking, if it's centimeters, I'm not going to her house. I'm just not wasting my time. And she goes, it's in inches. And I said, I'm on my way. She was like, 5 minutes away from where I was, the store I was in. I step into this girl's house. And before I tell you what happened when I stepped into this girl's house, the reason I wanted those chairs is because I had a vision of
Okay.
I had an inspiration picture that I found on Pinterest, and it was this beautiful Victorian picture with like a green background, like a very deep green background, a velvet red chair, and the rim of it was gold. So her chairs had that gold rim. I just needed to dye the color. And now it wasn't velvet, but I just needed to dye it, right?
Okay.
I've been looking up videos on how to do this. So she's older. I'm walking to this woman's house who has this gold mirror that will still go on that wall, that will fit the
Okay.
inspiration. And she goes, oh, drop my purse. And she goes, I'm selling everything. I'm selling absolutely everything. Take whatever. And I'm like, what's going on in your life, girl? And she just said, she's going through a separation and she's getting rid of everything in her house. And so she goes, you can take the mirror. And I look at the mirror and I'm like, damn, this is a steal.
Mm.
The mirror is 4 feet tall. That's how big. It's 48 inches. It's 4 feet tall. It's huge. And she goes, if you want, see if there's anything else you want. But if you want, you can have that red chair behind you for free. I nearly fell out. I turned around. It's a deep velvet red chair. It's not red. It's crimson.
Come on, Crimson.
I go to her. Oh, God brought me here. And then I go, when I left this store, I have a black wall in the studio and I could not figure out what to do with it. And I stopped a store's a sales associate and I said, what do you think? I bought a chair for it, this black chair. And I go, what do you think this style is? And she kept going Victorian. And I go, I don't think it's fully Victorian, but it doesn't have as much detail as Victorian. And she goes, oh, you know what you can do with that? You can go glam. I picture a black and white picture with like red lipstick. This woman with this gold mirror and the red chair goes, oh, well, there's two pictures over here. Those pictures are black and white pictures, and the girl has a red lipstick. And I was like, shut the front door. Alignment. Giovanni, remember, she gave me the red chair for free. The mirror, she spent $300 on it, and she sold it to me for $50. The things that I was looking for were right in that woman's house. I was fighting so hard to get that other woman's chairs for $250. And I ended up, and she refused to sell them to me. Like I could feel it. And
Mm-hmm.
I found everything I was looking for, things I didn't even know I wanted, things I didn't even know I needed right in this person's house. And I walked out and I get in my car and I'm like, I forgot that I'm blessed. For like a split second, I know that was a long story, but I forgot that I'm so blessed. So instead of me fighting for something that does not align with me, what is for me is going to flow right to me so easily. Um, and it did. Like, and it did. And it did. And now I have the inspiration picture. My wall, I can see from here, looks quite similar to the inspiration picture. So I say my long ass story to say when things are in alignment for you, you don't need to fight as hard for them. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Have you ever experienced anything like that?
First of all, I think that was a beautiful story, and I'm glad that everything worked out. Now I understand why you just wanted to on Instagram. Be Free said, "Come on, word, come on, word." Be Free be on YouTube. She's in Dubai, so I don't know if it'll allow her to come over this way. But and then you got some love in the comments over here too.
Hey,
I think
people.
I think that's so great because you would have spent $250. Take the $50 you did spend, and now you're at that $300 that that lady paid for that one mirror that you wanted combined.
Right.
And all you had to do was do your $50, and then you get this whole package of stuff because
Well,
she's
I spent like 130 in total. Like she charged me for like the pictures. The chair was free. You know what I mean? And not everything. I didn't expect
oh, you
anything.
didn't say that part in your story. But what
Yeah.
I was
In
getting
total, I
to,
spent 130, but the chair was free. Mhm. But go on. Sorry.
but what I was getting to
Mhm.
was now I understand why you were so excited to just go live today and you want to be able to show everybody what was happening because you were just so grateful that you were walking in your blessing and your favor, and that you're realizing, and this has been going on for quite some time in your life, Shireen. I think for the last few months, things haven't been working out the way you want them to work it out. And then it turns out to be
But
even
they're
better than what you
working
thought it
out.
was. And you're initially like pissed off, upset, mad. These people don't want me to be great. They trying me. It's this, is that. And then it turns out to be like something totally different that's even bigger
Mhm.
than your wildest dreams, that is like aligning to what it is that you want for yourself and what you've always wanted to do. It's just not the way you thought it was going to go down, and it's just one thing of friction or tension, and then all of a sudden you just like coasting into greatness. And I think
It took.
that's
Mhm.
beautiful. I think that goes back into a topic we talked about maybe the last time, the power of self-belief,
Yeah.
and just remembering that who you are, whose you are, but most importantly, that everything's going to work out for you because you're not going to settle for anything less than. I
Mhm.
think you just have to kind of remember those things as you're going through those times where you have to show up and be a little bit more resilient. So congratulations on your steal of a deal of
Let's
walking into
feel.
someone's house who's trying
Let's
to get rid
feel.
of everything, and it turns out to be great stuff for your creative space. I always
Yeah.
like to call it your creative space, but you're a creative studio because it's not just a podcast studio.
Yeah.
It's so many different things in one, but that perspective matters,
Yeah.
when it comes to how you're navigating through life. Shout
Yeah.
out to the Perspective Studio Productions.
Thank you. The
Mhm.
woman, when I walked into her house, she had a tattoo here and a tattoo here. And I seen her tattoo here. And I'm like, I have that tattoo. It's on my back. And so she goes, and then I noticed she had the exact same tattoo on both her wrists. And I go, I have that exact same tattoo on my neck. And she goes, oh, this tattoo? And I'm like, girl, how would I have seen the tattoo in between your breasts? And I'm like, but funny enough, I was going to get that same tattoo between my breasts. The same tattoo. And I go, actually, I would have put it on my arm here, but I was gonna get the same tattoo. But initially, I thought about putting it in between. Her spirit was just so lovely, so lovely, and it took me. You know how we always say sometimes you need to just be still. And when I say those words, be still, my grandmother literally would say those words to me, be still. Exactly those words, verbatim. And it just took me to stop fighting. And you said it. The past, what month are we? We're in
We're in
February.
February. Mm-hmm.
You don't even know. Today's the 22nd. You don't even know yesterday. Yesterday was a very important day for me. Um, but I won't bring up what it was. But it was a very, usually that day is really hard for me to get through. And usually as soon as February comes rolling around, um, it's very hard for me on that day. And at February, when everybody's celebrating, I'm usually down in the dumps. But not this month and not this year. And I actually said to that woman, my mom brought me here. And I don't really speak about my mom, but yesterday was a day pertaining to my mom. And I said, yeah, I said, God brought me here. And then my second thing was, my mom brought me here. And my grandmother is telling me right now, Shireen Simon, and both of them have passed, be still. So all I'm going to say to anybody else that's watching is when you are fighting for something, because I'm not saying you don't have to work hard for what you want, but if you feel like you're like almost begging for something to work out, stop. Just stop. Just be still. And you might just actually be so surprised how great things are going to work out for you because God might have something completely different planned for you. Yeah. That's it,
That's
girl.
sweet. I agree. I feel you on that. I can testify to that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. Well, I mean, you want to close it on out? I mean, that was the
Already?
word.
It's only 32 minutes
I mean,
in.
what do you say after all of that? You brought the sermon. Everyone has said amen. They've covered. I mean, was that? I don't think that was devotion.
That is not what we were going for, but
I'm
um
just saying, like you got everyone's the saints are in here and they
yeah.
talking back to you. I mean, I agree with you. I totally agree. I feel you on that. I feel like when you're forcing people,
Wait.
correct.
Now,
That's
yeah,
exactly what I'm saying, Naya, to pass it. Like, and
wait,
sometimes it's
now,
just like that. It's like, just
just
let
put
it
it in
go.
something. Just drop it.
Oh my
Pass
gosh,
this
I
around,
cannot.
please. Just
I
put on top of
cannot.
the candle. Put the money in there.
You need the option on YouTube so they can donate.
Wait,
Go ahead and
I
drop your
accept
dollar.
e-transfer. Send me the e-transfer. Send
Two,
Giovanni this.
two,
Yeah,
two for two, two for two, two for two,
send
$2,
Giovanni
$1
the
for each.
bell. Yeah, I'll take pay.
I love that what you said. I can totally see that in I would say like in a relationship or friendship that I have right now. That I think you can apply that to people too. Like when you're constantly forcing people to kind of do something that you would want something to happen and it's just not working and you feel like you're trying to force something. I feel like that is kind of I can see that because a friendship that I currently have, like I feel like I don't have to ask for much. They're already willing to support and do. And in former friendships, it's like you have to ask people for support. You have to ask them to show up. You have to ask them, can you do this for me? Can you do that for me? And when people really just want to be there for you, they're going to be there for you. That same thing with Nayetta this morning, like on the call, I was trying to ask questions and get some support. And again, it's when you're already walking in alignment and you don't realize that's what you're already doing and what you're doing is what you're supposed to be doing. She dropped like my YouTube channel. And then like so many people go ahead and started following me. And I had no idea that she was doing that. And I didn't have to ask her to do that. You know what I mean? Like
That's Marietta
that's just
for you.
the support of what you're doing. Yeah. And I feel like it's beautiful when you have people that just show up for you. It's beautiful when people can give you those words of affirmation that you didn't realize that you needed to say, hey, you're
Mhm.
already that and more. What you're doing is more than enough. Keep going. It's in that confirmation that it makes you feel even more about where you are and what you're doing.
Oh,
Even though you can always say you could be doing so much more, or you're thinking about doing so much more. But having good people and good confirmation, I think matters. And even for people whose love languages and words of affirmation, I don't feel like
yeah,
that's one of my highest love languages at all. But sometimes you just need it and you need
yeah,
to hear it, or you need to see it, or you need to feel it in your case, what you've been seeing ever since like December. Things have just been aligning, confirming, and being done for you. That's showing you what it is that you can have, not knowing where it is in the timing. So I think as long as we continue to evolve and as long as we continue to stay true to who we are, and I think Tabitha Brown said it um, on my birthday, as long as you're freely being you, things are going to get in alignment and things are going to be attracted to you that are for you because you're freely being your authentic self.
yeah.
And so that's all I guess I could sum up and say as I
Mhm.
be that pastor that come after to tell you to pass the
The plate.
mm-hmm.
Um,
I did
there
sit
was
down and got your water.
Yeah, there was something you just said. What did you just say? You said something that, oh, we always feel like we're not doing enough. And I struggle from that. Um, I really struggle. Like you guys hear me all week. This week I'm like, I'm having FOMO. I'm having FOMO because you guys are like doing all this stuff and I'm like, wait a minute, wait a minute. I need to jump back into the morning meetup because I want to do that. I want to do some of that too. Um, but it's like I am doing a lot, and I think you're frozen on my screen. I don't know if you're
Okay.
frozen for everyone, but on my screen you're frozen. But just keep moving. I think is Giovanni frozen for
It's
you?
okay. You keep talking. I got it.
Okay. Oh, okay. I think she's gonna go and come back. Well, I know she's gonna go and come back. Um, a struggle from really feeling. Yeah, she's frozen for you too, huh, Crystal? She's coming back. Well,
Still can't see me?
no, we can't see you.
Okay. I'll be right back.
Okay. But I'll just keep talking to you all. I do struggle from feeling like I'm not doing enough. Okay, let's see if she's here. Giovanni,
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
we can hear you. Yeah,
Can
we
you
just
see me
can't
yet?
see
Okay.
you. No.
All right.
Join from your phone. Like, click on the link again from your phone as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so that way at least we can get you in here and just mute one of them. Okay. So I'm pretty sure you can hear me. Oh, just wait for her there.
I can. You can keep talking.
Okay, girl. Um, yeah, I don't know what it is, and I don't know if it's like if that is a trauma response where you feel like you're just not doing enough, even though you're doing a lot. Like if I think about my to-do list yesterday, it had legit 21, 22 things on it. 21, 22 things. Like that is a stupid number of things to have to do in a day. Um, and I just try to go down the list from like the most important things. And I don't know how much I did get a lot done. I didn't get 20 done, but I did get a lot done. Um, but then I'll turn around and say, wait, Nayada, wait, Giovanni, wait, Cynthia, what is this? What is this? What are you guys doing? Oh, wait, I need to do that too. And I think Nayada's like, you're doing a lot as it is. So like, don't even worry about it. But I'm not really certain what that is, why we feel like we need to be doing more. And I know I keep saying it's FOMO, but you're back, Giovanni. I know I keep saying it's FOMO, but I think it's probably more than FOMO because I don't actually feel, yeah, I do kind of feel like I'm missing out. Like I want to participate in those things. And I've said, like, for me, it's like the networking. I want to be a part of that networking and building those relationships. But I think it's got to be um, more to it, right?
I think it's the fact that we're doing something, and as entrepreneurs, most of the time we're doing it by ourselves. We don't have a lot of people that's really helping us, that's in it, that's taking all the risk, that's and so as entrepreneurs, and you feel like you're doing it all by yourself, you feel like there's so much that can be done, but you're only one person. And so
Mhm.
you kind of overextend, and you can find all these different things that you could have done that you didn't do,
Mhm.
but you did more than enough. And I think it's going back to what we said months ago, is giving yourself
Remind
grace.
me, girl, remind me.
If we're going back to like planning and all of the things we talked about that better help with our organization and creating, what are we planning to do? The 12-week year, like all the stuff we talked about it. If we're knocking out the things that we said we want to get done, and we're looking at it from a further distance out, then we should be confident and fulfilled in what we did accomplish that day. And going back, like you said before, assessing, okay, what did you get done? What didn't you get done? Why didn't you get it done? How to get it done? So it's about knowing the things. It's just we're not doing all of those things. And so when we can always see other stuff that can be done, we're feeling like, oh, we're not getting anywhere. Like I would say it all the time. I always be like, I don't feel like I'm getting to the money. I don't feel like I'm getting to the money. I don't feel like I'm at a place where I'm making the money, and I want to make the money because I'm tired of struggling. And we talked about this on the morning meetup the other day, and it's like, if you're not feeling like you're struggling or at rock bottom, like you're supposed to be there. It's a part of the journey. Everyone
Yeah.
sees all these people making all of this money and getting all these good offers and having funnels and creating events. And it's like, you're not going to be where those people are. Your journey is
Yeah,
your
you're a
journey. So
different
it's
place
just
in the
like
journey.
being grateful for what it is you have done, seeing the evolution. Like, think about us yesterday. We were so lit on Sports Sense Live
Yeah,
because
we
we aren't
were.
who we were 7 months ago when we
Yeah,
didn't know what an XYZ statement was. We didn't have our podcast already rolled out. I think Nayetta
yeah.
already had her podcast, but like we didn't know where we were going. We know we was going up, down, around, front, back,
Mm-hmm.
sideways, cha-cha, real smooth. Like we didn't know any of that. And now we've
Mm-hmm.
evolved into these people where we know where we're going, and we're liking where we're going. We're being attracted to certain things. Look at you with your real estate investment, your podcast studio. You wouldn't have thought that you were going to have those things in July or
Girl,
August. So it's
July,
just
not even
giving yourself.
December.
That's what I'm saying. And I've had like 2 coaching clients, but I'm over here like, I want to revamp the coaching program. I want to make it more intentional. And I've been working on those things to add more value. And it's like, it's just going to come with time. It's not going to happen overnight just because we want it to.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just saying those things sometimes out loud and hearing someone say, but you are doing those things. You are doing enough. It's just kind of like, okay, well, thanks for telling me.
Well, I'm
Thanks
gonna
for the
say
grounding moment.
there's two parts to that because we had our coaching session with Donnie on Tuesday, and it was so powerful. And if you want to talk about preaching, like it was so powerful. And she said, you know, around this time of year, um, she questions if she's doing enough, right? Like, is there more she can do? Because, it's pertaining to like her family. And there's always more you can do, especially when you have dependents, right? And dependents don't have to be children. Dependents can be anything. If you have your parents depending on you, if you do have your children depending on you, if you have other family members depending on you, um, you kind of take a look at, am I doing enough? Have I been doing enough? Or um, when we are procrastinating or second guessing ourselves, uh, or any of those excuses, which I definitely do. And I think I seen a friend of mine say it last week on TikTok. She said, there's a lot of people out here that are not standing on business, right? They're not standing on business. They say they want to do this and they're not doing that. Or Donnie put it in a skit, actually. She did a skit recently, and she says like, oh, I created a lot of content, but I'm not going to post it. And then there's other excuses that were a part of that. So I'm going to procrastinate. And I'm like, I fall into almost every part of those skits. When my friend said it on TikTok, just like a TikTok, some people are not standing on business. They have a full-time job or whatever, and they won't just take the plunge and go hard on their business. And I'm like, I feel I feel seen. Right? And then even Donnie's I want to say it's almost like a sermon that wasn't what it was meant to be, but her message about like, you can do more. And I know I've been doing a lot for the studio, but I know I could do more for other parts. And even though she did give us the message of like, just focus on that one thing and get really good at that one thing before you look at the other thing. Because I think in her skit, she said, "Oh, are you that person that's going to just like create a bunch of different businesses and not push any of them?" And I'm like, holy shit, how many businesses do I have? How many? Scene.
Mhm.
So I think my subconscious is talking with my conscious because I'm aware that I could go harder. And yes, I've been going hard for the studio. Um, but I just feel like I can be going like even harder. And maybe I feel like this needs to just go live because I am in here spending all nights and I'm up here early in the morning. I've been up since 4. I know Nayeta's been up since 4 because she was messaging in the group since 4. Um, yeah,
I think it's what Crystal said, that we're always looking to do more and feel like we're chasing a it.
it.
Um,
Mhm.
and I think we're doing what we're doing. It's just we need to keep going. And not only did she just say the same thing that Dave was saying this morning, it's like you're doing all the things, just keep being consistent. And sooner
Mm,
or later, traction is going to meet. People are going to pick up. People are going to know what you're doing. People are going to find the value in it all because it's been valuable the entire time.
mm,
It's just keep going. Don't stop. And I think sometimes we get in the habit of looking for something to change too soon. That we want to start pivoting. We want to start figuring out, is there something else I could be doing? Because you
I was in
see
the skit
so
too.
much everything else. I believe it. I haven't seen
Hmm.
it. You know how I am with
Hmm.
TikTok. It's like an app on the phone that
That
I
that
have
one's on
tapped
IG,
on.
but you
Yeah,
right there.
and I think sometimes we just forget about that. Um, and we just need to know that we just need to keep going. And because we know we're coming with value and we are valuable, that it's going to happen when it's going to happen because we're already making it happen. And we're the results of that. So if we continue to just show what it is that we're doing, what it is that we have, sooner or later, like you said, with the topic of this, we're going to be in that right alignment because of our self belief and because of our consistency.
Mhm.
I can only imagine what we would look like if we didn't do a whole nother 90 days or if we didn't do the first 90 days, let alone run it back for the second 90 days. And now we're in our third 90-day mark together.
Mhm.
Us holding each other accountable and constantly prioritizing our business and our support for each other and being aware of where it is we are and what we want to do. I think that's a beautiful thing because in entrepreneurship, you don't always have those supportive types of villages. And that's why they always talk about how so many people have so many businesses that fail and they never
Mhm.
look at the first business and why it didn't and why you quit and why, which some people just don't want to keep going with certain things like that. It was done what it was done and it was what it was and they're finished with it. But then there's so many people who said, I had so many failed businesses. I don't want this to be a failure either before looking at what it was with themselves and what
Mhm.
didn't they do for them in order to keep things going. Because we can always think about so many different things we can do because entrepreneurship is wide open. It's whatever you want to make it. And you got a whole creative space. We're creatives as podcasters. Um,
Mhm.
there's so many different ways to do whatever it is that you want to do that there's no way to box yourself in. And sometimes we figure like we need to build this thing around ourselves when we really just need to flow with it, and just let the vibes vibe. I mean, your voice is a vibe. I'm forward vibrations. Let's just keep moving forward and let's just keep using our voices, um, to see where life takes us as we continue to be in alignment.
Yeah, when you talk about people who had many businesses or businesses that have failed, it's funny because we're reading a book in our coaching um, group, No Man's Land, and it's really about kind of like setting yourself up to prepare to scale so you do not fail, right?
Mm.
So if you if you were to blow up tomorrow and just like have all these other new clients for you, new clients for
Would you
Nayet,
be ready for it?
right? That's it. And how do you prepare yourself now to get ready for it, right? So, do you things we talk about, things we've already looked at? Do we have the right systems in place? Are things automatic? Or are we still doing manual things? Do we have the resources when it comes to bodies to help us execute or even strategize? And to your point, I think you had mentioned that not I think you mentioned that entrepreneurship is such a lonely journey. And for the majority in the beginning, when you're in go mode, you're doing so much by yourself. But I guess just taking the time to prepare for that success. When I woke up this morning, um, and like I think it was 4 when Nayad and I were messaging. I don't know if I put it in the chat, but at that point I was thinking, am I being as intentional as we use the word, but am I actually being as intentional as I can be? Right? I'm not talking about just a cliche word. Um, and I felt like I'm not. I'm not, right? So I do feel like I'm going to spend the next week or so because like Saturday, this is come book this baby because we ready. We'll do a grand opening celebration in 2 weeks, but come book Perspective Studios production because we open, baby. But like from next week, I'm gonna double back and look at
Congratulations
the
on
notes.
being ready to be opening.
Thank you, hon.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna double back on our notes. I'm gonna double back on just like the things that we have been taught and just double check on, am I implementing the right things? Am I being very intentional? I don't want to just be doing another one, another course, I want to ensure that I'm intentionally implementing some of the things and giving it time to grow, so I can feel like it wasn't just intentional, but I gave it the time it needed,
Right.
right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think reflection and inflection are always important,
Mm-hmm.
and taking that time to really do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I love that you're going to create that space. And like Nayetta said, it does take time.
Mm-hmm.
And then you really just have to look at you and figure out, like you told me before, with like putting a whole bunch of sticky notes and prioritizing and making lists. Are you really working on things that you really need to be working on? What's the priority? List those out and knock those things out first instead of just doing something just to be doing something, to be like, oh, I could work on this today, or oh, I can knock this out, or oh, this came, I want to work on here because I'm feeling it. I think it's getting strategic with
Yeah.
what we're doing. And I feel like we had a guest speaker sometime this week, and he was like, if you don't know where you want your business to go in the next 90 days, then you're operating blindly. You don't know what you're trying to do. And I was like, dang, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing in 90 days. I need to get together. I need to get this together. I need to figure it out. And even though we have our 90-day accountability, we have to really sit down and map out what we like to accomplish, by that next
Yeah.
90 days,
Yeah.
and document that and knock it out. And I think we need to be a little bit more structured when
Yeah.
we consider those things, instead of just saying what we like to accomplish, what is actually necessary. Like you said, what systems do we need to make sure we already have in place? So in the event that we hit a
Low.
yeah, I'm just saying, we just blow up in like
Mhm.
15 days, 30 days, because we launching every day now. Are we ready for all of that? So I think that's just something that taking in that reflection time, what we really need to do, so we're ready. Um, when that alignment aligns us and we get thrown in there and stuff just starts hitting, what's going to happen?
Yeah. And this is the last, we're going into March and we're going into the last month of the first quarter. So, depending on how you start your year, whether it's business or whatnot, this is the last month of the first quarter. So, time goes by fast. Whether it's a business goal or a personal goal, I'm going to just implore everyone that's watching to take the time to do that self reflection and ask yourself, are you standing on business? I'm not even talking about if you're an entrepreneur. If your goal is to lose 5 pounds, if your goal is to put on 5 pounds, if your goal is to just be more tidy, if your goal is to do XYZ, are you doing the strategic things that you need to do to actually reach the goals that you have? Because if you're not, this is the time to start reflecting on it. So you got like next week. So then when March hits, you're spending, what is it, 30, 31 days actually doing things that are going to move the mark, right? We're not going to go into spring. And technically, spring is the new year. We're not going to go into this new year of spring and not be closer to what we want. At least that's my thoughts.
I like it. And you already know my vibes. Be intentional about being intentional. I've been intentional about releasing a podcast episode every week, and I've been doing it. I've been intentional about the lifestyle that I'm living and even trying different things. Like I told you, I have been, but it's kicking up the intentionality sometimes. But applying the strategy to your intentions, I think, is
Yeah.
what I took away from what you just said. So I'm with it. I like it. I think it's going to be dope. I hope that everyone has a mind that is ready to get strategic about where they want to take the next quarter of this year for themselves, because you deserve nothing but the absolute best. The goals that you have for yourself, you are destined to achieve them. So make sure you are open enough to where you can evolve into who you need to be, so you can go get what it is that you deserve, so you can live the life that you want to live and lead, and do it with love, grace, and most importantly, patience for yourself. So I'm with it.
Yeah.
I'm with it.
Well, good talk.
Great
Mm-hmm.
discussion.
Yeah, I
Sure.
figured we just let's just talk. We weren't sure what to talk about, but I knew that one thing. I was like, I think I want to bring this up, but
That's good. Way to trust yourself with it. You do good with that.
yeah, we both do. We both do.
Thank you. I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all the information is in the description of our video. Make sure you connect it with us. Also, if you're looking for any support, those links are down there too, for Forward Vibrations, free guides. Again, I'm your healthy habits and lifestyle coach. I help women experiencing issues with polycystic ovary syndrome, endometriosis, embrace lifestyle changes as their form of healing through mindset, mindful eating, and movement. Come
Mm-hmm.
vibe with me, y'all.
All right, and my farewell is going to say, check out the page. We will have new content. We're going to actually try, when I say we're, I mean me, go live a bit more and
You're gonna
just,
try, or I am going live more.
I am going live a bit more and stay on the live
Yes.
regardless, and stay on the live, so you can know a bit more of what's happening behind the scenes, because I feel like behind the scenes is like so busy that I can't even package it together to give it to you yet. So why not just flip it on and you can see? Because if I had flipped if I had flipped it on Tuesday, I'd have been like, this didn't sell me those chairs. And
Glad you
then I
did.
would have been like, an hour later, oh my God, I got this chair for free. So it would have been a roller coaster.
Some
It would
people
have
like
been,
that. Though.
yeah,
Some
yeah, it
people
would have
like
been a
that.
roller coaster of emotion. So,
Some
check us
people
out.
like that.
Check us out on
All right, y'all. So, Empire Plates, Empire Lives. Make sure you tuning into the podcast. You got Voices and Vibes. Make sure you tuned
Voices
into
and Vibes,
Shireen's
baby.
podcast. We love y'all. Be easy.
Good
Be
night.
well. See you on the next one.
Absolutely.